Welcome to another episode of SantorSnakes. On this episode, we're going to talk all about humidity huts.
Thank you to all that liked and subscribed.
Now cue that intro. Guys, getting right into it, all about humidity huts. Carter, what is a humidity hut?
A humidity hut is a box, I guess, with like moss inside of it, and it's supposed to be like wet inside.
Yes, so a humidity hut is a box of some kind that has some wet moss in it, and that wet moss is what helps keep that humidity level up inside the box.
Yeah, and here's an example of a humidity hut.
All right, let's see what you got. Oh, I get to do it.
That's for a little one.
Yep, so this is a small humidity hut for small snakes, of course. And you're basically going to fill it up about halfway with moss. Ooh, we have a little surprise of a piece of shed in this one. But you see some moss in here. It is dry right now because this is not an active humidity hut, so it is just dried out moss to keep the mold from growing.
Yeah, and this one is for a big snake.
Yes, Miss Cuddles uses that one. Yeah.
The big.
Very good. So we have two examples here. Now, a humidity hut, we typically don't keep it in the snake's enclosure all of the time. It's just when they're about ready to shed. So when you see the scales across their back start to get a little darker or not as shiny, that's a good indication. And then their eyes. Tell them a little bit more about that.
So if their eyes get a little bit purplish blue, that means they're gonna shed in a few days, maybe even that day, because like they have something over their eyes, so the skin doesn't hurt their eyes whenever they're shedding.
Yeah, so it's called going into blue. Some people call it zombie mode because it just looks kind of milky. There's just a little covering, and it's actually like a little bit of oil that gets in between the skin that they're about ready to shed off and the layer of skin that they're keeping, and that little bit of oil helps the outer layer peel off. And something else that helps that outer layer peel off in one piece is a higher level of humidity. In case you didn't know, humidity is moisture in the air. You know, when you go outside and it's humid, the air is kind of wet and sticky a little bit. Hello everybody in Florida, you know what I'm talking about. But the snakes need that. I shouldn't say all snakes, because all snakes don't need humidity huts, but a lot of them do. That's one of the things that's important about research. Which snakes need humidity huts and which ones don't. But we actually have a cleaned out humidity hut to show you guys, just real quick so we can get up close and do that for you. Really simple to make.
Princess is about to shed soon, and she's probably in her humidity hut right now.
Yes, I took a little clip of her earlier today, so we will show that to you right now. So in Princess's house, we have a water dish and another hide down at the opposite end, the cool end. And then we've got all of this space coming over here to the hot end. And she has her humidity hut in here because she should be shedding sometime soon. There she is, safe and sound. She has not shed yet. Well, so we are going to just add a little humidity. It's like a little shower. And we'll just close that up. Get that leaf out of there. hole is just big enough for her to get in and out of, but it holds the humidity in pretty well. Alright guys, so that little clip was earlier today, just her being cozy in there. The humidity seemed to have dropped a little bit, so that's why you saw me squirting some extra water in there just to make sure she wasn't in blue. I've noticed that she typically comes out of blue essentially right before she sheds, so I think that she'll be shedding tonight, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. And then I believe one of our other snakes shed recently in her humidity hut. Do you remember who that was?
It was baby girl.
Yes, baby girl shed in her humidity hut just yesterday. And we also have a little clip of what we found inside the humidity hut. She had already moved out of the humidity hut and over to the cooler side of the enclosure, but we'll show you that clip now. All right, so we are looking at baby girl's enclosure. And over here she has got her humidity hut. Looks like she has just finished a good shed. Oh, maybe something else in there. Oh, yes, there is a nice sized poop in there as well. So we will be, of course, taking that out, cleaning and sanitizing it. But that is what a humidity hive does. Very good. Sorry, we should have warned you about the poop that was in that one, but she had a good full shed, and that is what a humidity hut is for, helping them shed. It's really important that humidity huts, like a typical hive, have one entrance, one hole to go in and out of. And the humidity huts that we have, they're all on the top, and I guess that's just to help keep the mossy substrate in the humidity hut, so they can go out the top, I think.
Because if it's on the side, but you guys can do it on the side. Like, if it's on the top, no moss is gonna come with the snake.
Right. So yeah, when they come out, but the moss stays inside the hut, which is one thing that we like. You can of course put it on the side, but you want to make sure that that hole is big enough for the snake to get in and out of comfortably, just like a normal hide. But you want it to be small enough to where there's still enough surface of the lid to keep the humidity in. So just kind of play with it, see what you like. It's perfectly okay if you put a little hole on the side. How about we show everybody baby girl's humidity hut now that we have emptied it out of the wet moss and the poop that she left, and we cleaned and sanitized it, and we're ready to put some more moss in there. So we'll just show you guys that real quick. I think we're gonna come a little closer to you. It looks like somebody's a little anxious, so here we come. This is baby girl's cleaned out humidity hut. It's been sanitized as well. Her and Princess have the exact same size and setup. We've got our hole cut over here in the corner of the lid, but of course you guys can cut it in the side if you prefer. So with it all cleaned out, we are going to put a bunch of terraria moss. You guys can get this from your favorite store here, wherever, and just put about half full. So you want to leave room for your snake, of course, but you also want to make sure that there's enough moss in there to really keep it humid. And so it looks like it's pretty well full.
Still a lot.
Oh, cool. We'll just leave that in there. We'll use that on the next humidity hut. But that's about half full. You can squeeze it down. There's plenty of room to fit the snake in there when it gets in there. But you would just wet this down with some water. No standing water, right? But
no.
You want this all wet, but nothing like completely soaked or saturated, nothing like that. But once you put the lid on, okay, then you have a nice humid environment, specially designed to help them have a good, healthy shed. And this, of course, stays on the hot side of their enclosure, always on the hot side for the humidity hide. Very good. All right. Well, as always, you guys, we really appreciate you watching. Thank you so much.
Thank you for along with us.
And we'll catch you on the next one.